All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, and I'm back for another short announcement. This is about my seventh book that I just completed in the early part of March. It is now live on Amazon.com. This new book is called, let me get it out of the light here, it's called Radiant Heart. Well, as you can see here, seven amazing pathways to connect, activate, and communicate with your higher self. This particular book has taken me quite some time to put together. The numerology book that came out, I believe, 2 years ago, it took a little while to get that after about 20 years. But now, this one I had started sometime, and it took me about 6 months, almost to a year, but I finally got it completed this year. And so I just want to mention that you can get this book on Amazon for $25. It's a paperback book. Now, I did not put it into ebook form only because people think it's easy to put your material in ebook, and it really isn't. So, but I'm an independent publisher through Amazon, and it's this great opportunity. Hi there, Rose Jefferson. So I thought I would come on here for just a few minutes because I have a client coming to my residence here that I have to help out, and it's about 5:30 p.m. my time, so it's 6 p.m. for me, and this client's in town, and they haven't seen me in 20 years with their mom. So this is a great opportunity. But this book is all about what it takes to connect to your higher self and to come to the understanding of who the higher self is in relationship to yourself. This book is broken into four sections, which makes it kind of easy to follow. To give you an idea, the sections are part one is the foundation. I talk about radiant heart, what I mean by that. I also talk about the circle of grace one. I also let you know that we're never alone. And chapter four delves into dreams, meditation, and guided meditation, and so forth. Part two actually takes you into the seven amazing pathways, which I refer to as living keys to your higher self. And one of the things you get in chapter one, chapter seven, which is method number one, is the white light meditation. And this is a system that was given to me way back in the mid 1980s through someone I was studying occult sciences with, and they had the white light meditation. But they liked the way I was doing it, and I seemed to have improved upon it. And so that particular teacher gave me her A-OK to go ahead and recreate it for myself. And it's been working ever since for myself and numerous clients and students. Method number two, which is chapter eight, is taken from my two other channel books, The Wisdom of Akhenaten as I Am, and The Gift, which is The Wisdom of Nefertiti as I Am. And method two, chapter eight, is Beloved Akhenaten's Path of the Cobra and the Blue Flame is listed there. Chapter nine is Beloved Nefertiti's Gift of the Blue Flame. So those books are like companions to each other. And I go through what the others are. Part three of the book is the six keys to shift your awareness. So I'll come back from time to time and read little snippets of these, but to let you know what those six keys are first one, chapter 14, is implement all seven methods through silence, because in the end, silence is what you need. Chapter 15, key is you are the living obelisk, and I explained that. 16 is journey to grace, the path of enlightenment. 17, you are a living prayer. 18, chapter 18, no more secrets. And chapter 19, be a beacon light. And then the fourth section is philosophy of the higher self. And the philosophy is six chapters. Rebirth, regenerate, and transform is chapter 20. Chapter 21, the higher self is the eternal I am presence. Chapter 22, Remembrance is Key. Chapter 23, You Are Living as Your Higher Self. Chapter number 24, Your New Life Impacts the Collective and Beyond. And the last chapter is chapter 25, The Transcendental Self is the Higher Self. So I give you this information that I've been employing. One of the chapters, and I think it's chapter one, I talk about the six schools of yoga that you could go through as well. I talked about how I received what is called a Shakti Pa. Shakti Pa. It looks like it says Shakti Pat, but it's pronounced Shakti Pa. And it's the releasing of the Kundalini from the root chakra all the way up through the spine, not just on the outside, but through the spine, through the vertebrae, through the cords, the column within those discs, all the way up into your head. Now, not everybody gets that. And when you do, not everybody receives it multiple times. I was just blessed to have that experience on April the 7th, 1977, with my then Tai Chi instructor who was alive at that time. He also passed during that time later in the same year through a horrific motorcycle accident in New York City. But he had his guru, who was from India, happened to be in Texas with a group of students there of the Maha Yoga Society. And so the Shaktipat was about understanding how Maha, Maha, in Hinduism, the Sanskrit, means you're dealing with illusions in the world. And many times those illusions are internal. And one of those illusions happens to be our ego that's all over the place, our personal ego. So in this book, I talk about these different stages that a person has to go through in order to gain self mastery, in order to have higher consciousness, and then step into the path of spiritual enlightenment for themselves. And between all three of those, all the time meditation is being used. I just wrote a course, two courses, one a short course for the Center Metaphysical Institute out here that I work through, called Resident Essentials Esoteric School of Metaphysics. I've been working with the woman who's a very good friend of mine, been teaching through her location since 2015, but I met her long before that. And I teach meditation, I'll teach pendulums, I'll teach people how to work with candles. But my forte has been coming down to numerology and meditation, which is specifically my creative pathwork meditation system, which I started in 1996. But I was introduced to meditation in the springtime of 1971 when I was in the middle of my freshman year in college. And that's where I really got started with meditation. There was and I mentioned it here briefly. I only mentioned the guy by his first name because he's a pretty humble African American brother by the name of Marty or Marcy, we called him. And he was a great guy. He was very nice, and he noticed I was struggling with a lot of things going on, being on campus, small private liberal arts college. It looked like it was heaven, but it wasn't often heaven. It was a lot of creepy stuff going on there. And one of my other college alumni. He graduated 2 years after me. He's written three books, and he writes about his experience at Bard College. That's the college that we went to. And I was going through a lot of subtle racism stuff. He was going through some actual crazy sexual kind of stuff that he didn't even want to be any a part of, and people were trying to pull him into it all the time. I had no idea that that's what he was going through. He could see the blatant racism and how it was portrayed around me because it was he was experiencing it at the same time. So there was a lot of nonsense. And then, the wealthy of the wealthy were always chilling out at this place. There was a lot of, we would call them professional students that would come to this college, didn't take any classes. They were just hanging out because that was the thing to do back in the 60s and the 70s, was to go to this prestigious private liberal arts school and hang out on campus. It was a part of that particular college was a part of the Mid Hudson Association of Colleges, which included Marist College, Vassar College, Greene County Community College. Um, there's one other that stands on my mind. I see the name or part of the name, but it doesn't pick up clearly. But that it was like six or seven of them lined around the Hudson River, and Vassar and my college, Bard College, and Marist College, they were on the east side of the Hudson. The rest of them were on the west side of the Hudson River, but the majority of them, four of them, on the east side. And there's a lot of stuff going on in those days. Um, in fact, a well-known musician who's now probably, I think he's gotten several Grammys. His name is Donald Fagen of the group Steely Dan. He graduated 2 years ahead of me. He was at Bard. He was a very nice guy. He's one of the guys that taught me how to shoot pool and not get hustled. He's a really very nice guy. So this book, I'm looking forward as to a lot of people purchasing the book. I just purchased a set of other books that I got to send out to some of my students who have prepaid it through me, and they're going to get an autographed copy of this book. And it's an opportunity for people to learn how to discover themselves and the path that they're on through different forms of meditation. Sound and light is another form of meditation. Right now, you can go on YouTube, and when you go on YouTube, you could go there and find out about the different frequencies, which are the solfeggio tones embedded inside of music, or what we call the binaural beats, that rapid tapping sound that you can barely hear in there. Then there are those subliminal tapes where if you listen to them properly, you can hear someone talking into the left side of your headset and someone else talking into the right side of your headset. And hearing those affirmations, sometimes tones and sounds and gongs in very subtle ways embedded into these music, gives you the proper frequency that releases tension, overrides diseases in your body, self-healing can take place, blood pressure can slow down. There's many things that could happen when you're using binaural beats embedded in music, and it's embedded in meditation music. And then when you see it up there on YouTube, you see all the geometrical patterns and shapes that come out of this that they create. So I give you all of these different pathways that you can think about, and these are different ways to getting in touch with what is called your higher self. And at some point, if you stick through the entire book, you see where that higher self is located inside yourself as well as around yourself. So I just wanted to come on and just talk about that this book is now out on Amazon. I have more books to be written. I'm going to work on a book on dreams. I'm going to be working on some of my spiritual poetry books. I'm going to work on another book that will be devoted to maybe the science of affirmations, because I talk about affirmations all the time. I have the book called Decree and It Shall Be, and that teaches you about the science of prayer, that how you can write your own prayers, how you write your own affirmations, how you create your affirmative prayers. And it goes into meditation on different levels. And then there are decrees and how you can write a decree and how it takes effect in your life. I've gotten people to use many of my techniques as well as using them myself to help catapult myself in certain directions. So we'll be at some point, who knows, I might put together a shorter version on numerology. This is more of a thicker standard one, but everything you need that teaches you how to do numerology is right in this book. Someone asked me what I do workbooks. I don't need to do a workbook. This is the book, the manual, and the workbook. That's how I write my books. I make sure I put ample information in the book so that you can work with it, you can comprehend the information, and then you can go apply it. That's what I like to do. And many people that come here to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and are able to attend my 1 hour Saturday classes, which is the Creative Path Work Meditation series, if they stick with me for about 6 months, right around in there, provided that they are doing their meditation daily for themselves and opening themselves up, because when you're in a group setting, you can ride on the group's energy. But if you know how to mask it out, you won't feel the group's energy. The group's energy will catapult you forward and upward in the energy field that you are creating for yourself. But when you meditate alone by yourself, you're able to feel what your personal energy feel, your aura is like. You get to feel what it's like to feel the intrinsic energy called chi that's running underneath the surface of your skin, right on the top of your muscles in a little sac known as the fascia. So you get to see that, you get to experience that, and again, if some people it takes about 6 months, doesn't happen in 6 weeks, it happens in 6 months. We've kind of looked at that, and I've seen a lot of people attend my classes, and everybody's experience when the higher self opens up within you and around you, there are things that people do experience. Some people experience the like an incessant need to scratch. That's one way, as the higher self is scratching itself to the surface within you. Your dreams become more enhanced. That's right. The dreams that you have become more enhanced. You also will experience what we call out of body experiences. You also go into the level of what is called soul traveling. You also will experience a unique connection with crystals and gemstones that you wear, that you have around in your home, on your property. And you get close enough to one of them, which is the master healer called selenite. What happens, selenite reawakens you on a different level because you have the trace mineral selenium in your body. So I introduce all these things to you. If you want a book that's specifically on selenite, I have a book called The Age of Remembrance, The Divine I Am Presence in Selenite. And that also is, I think that's a $12 book or $11 book on Amazon. So I'm going to sign off because I got to get in touch with my client. I got to do a little meditation so I can interact with her. We haven't spoken in some time, so she needs my assistance. But in the meantime, go over to Amazon and make sure you get this book, Radiant Heart: The Seven Amazing Pathways to Connect, Activate, and Communicate with Your Higher Self. People have already asked me, will I do some teaching online? I might do one or two workshops, some introductory workshops, because there's a lot of material in here. And even though this is a thin book and 199 pages, this information speaks directly to those who are ready. Okay. I can't tell you if you're ready or not, but you'll know if you're drawn to the picture, the title, the subtitle. If you've been feeling this desire that you want to connect with your higher self, then perhaps this is the book for you. And I don't think there's any other books out there on Amazon that are talking about the higher self. They might talk about it in a different way. But anyway, it's time for me to go. May you have a pleasant evening. My grace is your grace. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. And I'll come back another time and actually read a chapter and explain it to you from that new book, Radiant Heart: Seven Amazing Pathways to Connect, Activate, and Communicate with Your Higher Self. Take care, everybody. See you real soon. And oh, by the way, this Monday, I will be on Lloyd Strayhorn's Live with Lloyd this Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Live with Lloyd. I will be on there and we're going to be doing our numerology thing as usual. I'm going to talk about that book a little bit more. So you be sure that you join us this Monday. Okay. And there's some other things that you will probably do. And I just want to say thank you so much for what all of you are doing with myself and other people. And we want to make sure that you graduate into higher fields of awareness. That's what meditation is about. It's about receiving higher consciousness and know when you are experiencing it. This book will remind you that you can go to the highest, not just get higher consciousness, higher wisdom, higher understanding, but you get a direct connection with your higher self. So I'm going to sign off. My client is just text me. She's getting ready. I'm getting ready. And we're going to jump into some things. And I got to teach tomorrow and maybe Sunday. So take care of yourself. Thank you for your time. Peace out and much grace to you.